Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on this channel. Today's video is a little bit different because I'm filming with my smartphone here, so different type of video. Today we're talking about the misting technique I'm using to spray or water my tarantulas and especially the plants. So these plants right here, they are not doing bad but also not doing great. So the one behind here completely destroyed itself, and I'm pretty sure that it has to be because of the isopods I use. They are the brown big ones like this one over here, and I have to think that they actually are eating the roots of the plant. But this Monstrosa is doing great, and I have it in another collection. But just coming to the topic, that's the enclosure of my Lasiodora Klugi, and it is in a huge tank. It's in a, I would say, 40-gallon tank. No, that's not possible, but it's a huge tank. It's 60 by 40 by 40, and we're not also covering this, but she's doing great, even though she can't burrow in this height, but she will burrow over here because this huge root and over here, which is a piece of solid Malayan root I just bought, is like covered with soil. So she has a tunnel over here where she, oh hi there, where she can actually go inside and have a rest if she wants to. But that's another topic. I just saw a video on someone misting his tarantulas, and I'm not really sure if that's the right way, so I'm trying to show you how I mist my tarantulas. Coming to the side of a tarantula enclosure which is not yet inhabited, but you can see that it's already misted because I just thought after misting the whole stuff that it might be interested for you guys on how I do it. So I just use tools like this one. It's a water sprayer which has a lot of power, and I certainly use it to like spray the enclosure on the side so the water can trickle down on the whole glass side, and actually will go just on the bottom of the whole enclosure. So in that way the water will drip down on the side of the glass, and then from underneath it can moisture up the whole substrate, and also of course on top. And I'm not using the little spray, but I try to water it with water and not just misting it. Misting is a whole nother topic, and I use it a lot for the bromeliads I have because they tend to like certain water driplets in their bromeliad structure of the leaf itself, so it can accumulate a little bit moisture in there. But that's it for now. I just use the spray for plants like this, which do live arboreally, and spray them just like this. But for the other part of the enclosure, the substrate part, I try to go with as much water as possible and just use the spray from the side and then try to spray the actual root of the plant. When we're now just covering this topic, let's just try to feed some of the tarantulas. This one looks actually freshly molted. So let us see if this freshly molted Nando Tripepi actually is hungry. But it's probably too early. She's not doing well. She's a very old girl I got from a friend of mine. But she's successfully molted, but I'm not sure if she's doing for a longer period of time now. So let's just hope for that. Over here, same thing with misting and moisturing the whole enclosure up. It has a different structure. So the topsoil is over here, so I just made somewhat of a 3D carving in the whole structure, and I try to just mist the whole part from top to bottom so that the water can actually make it way through the whole ground, and I make sure that the roots get a lot of water, but not misting and not just spraying on the tarantula. That's important. But I'm pretty sure that this Xenestis species white is hungry, so let's just try and grab a roach real quick. Yep. yeah, these Xenestes species white, we have documented them in Colombia. So if you're interested in, I just linked the video somewhere. Just check it out. They're an extremely unique looking Xenestes, very leggy looking, like adult males, not that robust as other Xenestes, but they're just great. And she's chilling somewhat on this side, but she also has her huge burrow over here, where she's hiding most of the time when the whole light is on, just except for now because we just put it on. So over to the next one. Yeah, as you see, it's somewhat dirty, but this Xenestes species over here, the Xenestes imanis, the plants here, you see, they're not doing great because, yeah, I don't know why, but it has probably to do with my lack of misting and moisturizing the whole enclosure. So I have to continue with that more often and more frequently for this tank, but I'm pretty sure she's hungry as well, so let's just try. Yeah, they are amazing. We've seen them also in Colombia last year, Xenestes imanis, and just look at the scopula they have on their fourth pair of leg, which is like covering the whole metatarsus. Yeah, distinct feature which make them different from the Pamphobeteus genus. Such an amazing genus, and I hope to keep more of these Xenestes tarantulas, and I hope she's doing fine in this enclosure. It looks somewhat of the place where we found it in nature, and I hope I can successfully breed this species yeah, in this tank in the near future. Over here we have a bromeliad. It's an old one, and I just try to spray it like this, so the plant itself has always water inside of it. So yeah, just go over to the next one. Another Xenestes burrow over here, with two bromeliads on top, of course. And she has done quite a lot of digging, so we have to put that away in the near future. But let's just try and grab a roach and feed her as well. So let's try if she's coming out or not. Probably not, because she's made a huge burrow down there. And these are actually quite big as well. They're 40 by 40 by 40 centimeters. So the substrate is like 30 somewhat centimeters, and she has a huge place down there where she can burrow. And for the misting as well, do not spray just the top soil part. Make sure that the whole water is actually able to pull down on the substrate, because then actually it will just, yeah, evaporate for a longer period of time. This fern over here, you see, it did not go well. So this will happen from time to time when you like select the wrong plants for your enclosure. So she actually would have way too less light or too much light. Ferns are very special in that way, but the bromeliads are doing fine, and the other plant behind there, the ficus, is actually also doing great. So yeah, let's just see how this will continue, and yeah, switch to another enclosure. So it really depends on the species of tarantula you keep. Here is a communal group of Monocentropus balfouri, and they don't need a lot of water. So this plant inside this enclosure is doing pretty fine without a lot of water. So I just missed the webbing from time to time, so they have a few water droplets to drink on. But other than that, this whole enclosure is yeah, pretty bone dry. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're hungry, but let's just try and grab a little roach for them. Oh, let's see if someone's hungry. They are, yeah, not really hungry usually. They're well fed, because I try that one of them is dropping an egg sac soon, but yeah, it depends. The temperature needs to be a little bit higher for these guys. So I'm looking for a solution to just punctually, like maybe now. Yeah, it's not just defense, they're not hungry. So, which is a good sign though, but the roach will probably not survive for a long period of time. Oh, a little snake is just slandering around. Hi there, buddy. Yeah, but back to tarantulas. So here is another example on how to mist for more arid species. So this Ceratogyrus darlingi in the back there does not actually need a lot of moisture in its enclosure. So what I do from time to time, I just make sure that she has some water droplets inside his webbing or her webbing, and then is able to just get some water if she needs. And the plant behind there does pretty well without a lot of water, so the substrate is just bone dry. But there are other tarantulas which actually do need a lot of moisture. So this one over here is a Gyriocosmos species from Peru, and yeah, the plant is doing fine, but she does need a lot of moisture and substrate. So I make sure I just spray the whole enclosure with the same technique, so the water can pour down and then actually make a base layer. So from down to bottom, from bottom to top, the whole moisture and can actually evaporate. And then there are other enclosures, like from this Brachypelma auratum, one of the most beautiful tarantulas to my knowledge, and just freshly molted, looks extremely nice. But the plants are not doing well, so I have to check on why is this happening. They are pretty dry, but the one behind here, the aloe plant, is not doing great. But over here, Brachypelma homori is doing well with both plant species actually, but she's just webbing up the whole enclosure. And same for the Brachypelma emilia. This plant actually is doing great. I have to look up for the name in case you are trying to get some plants as well for your tarantulas, but they are at the moment not ideally placed in these type of enclosures, because these Brachypelmas are actually not from a region where there is a lot of cacti. Of course, there is an occasional cactus around, or cacti around, but they're more in a region where there is like a normal tropical dry forest. So I will restructure the whole enclosure in the near future for sure. And then of course, enclosures like this from the Lurognathos Giannisposatoi, just pour in a lot of water and not just mist it, and make sure the plant has a lot of water to suck on and actually grow. It's also vital for the tarantula that the substrate is moist, so she can actually dig good tunnels. I think that is it for now. Huge Lasiodora is doing well, and except for the plant down there. But anyway, I think we will just finish this video, short little update on how you can mist your enclosures back at home for your tarantulas so they are happy. And I hope we can cover another tarantula in the wild video with a new episode this year in a new location. I'm not really sure if this will happen, but let's see and just think optimistic. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.